All right, so welcome to our new moon in Pisces. It is March 13th here in California. And we're going to begin with this little anointing and meditation practice. So if you'd like to get your oils out now, if you've got them in front of you, sometimes it's nice to take the tops off of all of them. And also, if you're going to be making the new moon blend as we do this, one of the things that I encourage you to do is as we do the anointing on our own bodies, that we also have a 10 ml roller bottle that we can put some of the drops of each oil in one at a time. And then at the end, we'll have that for this whole cycle to work with. So this month, the order that we're going to do, and it's a little different maybe than the way I listed them online. That's how it felt this morning. We should work with them. Is we'll start with green mandarin, and then basil, and then fennel, eucalyptus, neroli, and then the lemon eucalyptus. So let's just take a moment now. Let's take the green mandarin, and I want to begin just by placing a drop in our palms and rubbing the palms together and just deeply inhaling this oil. Just take a few breaths here. Green mandarin is the oil known for its pure potentiality, and it comes from an unripened mandarin fruit, where the skin is still developing all of its properties into the full potential that it has. And if you'd like, just place your hands on your heart, maybe even right under the bra line, and maybe even just hold each side of the rib cage there. Maybe noticing that your middle finger of each hand comes together and just lightly touches, and that point where those fingers lightly touch, just acknowledging that place. Letting the breath just move in its own rhythm. Noticing how the inhale comes from above, and the exhale comes from below. Noticing the front of the body and also the back of the body. Acknowledging both the left and the right. And acknowledging that here where our hands are holding us, we're holding this place where all the opposites are existing simultaneously. None of them exist without the other. And with this practice, with each inhale, I want you to perhaps allow yourself to feel the possibility of dreaming. And with each exhale, allowing yourself to feel grounded through the whole base of the body. And again, with the inhalation, allowing the breath to fill you up, just like a dream, expanding, growing, opening up into all sorts of possibilities and dimensions. If you just joined us, Mama Liz, we're working with green Mandarin right now. And we've got our hands on our rib cage, just holding and feeling the breath as it fills the whole torso. And then how it empties and releases and creates a sense of groundedness in our reality. So a big theme of this new moon is this feeling of real dreaminess, allowing our imaginations to expand and grow, and to dream as big as we possibly want to. And simultaneously, keeping ourselves grounded in the reality that we inhabit here in this body, in this realm, in this time, and into the space that you occupy. When you're ready, just allowing the hands to release. So let's go to Basil now. We have Basil. And again, let's place a couple drops into the palm of our hand and just rub the palms together. And I always like to just inhale the oil, just to appreciate its fullness, just as it is. Basil is the oil of renewal. Beautiful oil here in the Northern Hemisphere where it's springtime. And you feel the possibilities of new things coming forward. Life is re-emerging. When you're ready, take the hands and just place them on the low back. And just allow yourself to massage the low back and the kidneys and the adrenals, and then also allowing the hands to come to the front and just underneath the rib cage, massaging the liver on the right side, just underneath the rib cage here. And just choosing, perhaps you want to massage both the front and the back simultaneously, or perhaps just one at a time. I'm sort of doing this sweeping motion across the front and across the back, and allowing the thumb of one finger on the back to really massage into those points that just want a little more love. And on the liver, honoring the liver here as the source of our chi regulation, allowing the Basil here to restore and rejuvenate and renew all of our energy throughout our whole body, so that we know that we can move at the pace we need to really honor all the feelings that we have right now. So Basil helps us to not feel so overwhelmed. It can help us in times of shock or trauma as well. For this new moon, really helping it to strengthen the heart, to relax the mind, and to restore these natural rhythms that our body has in its own way. Where you are, your experiences are, your dreams, your desires, these all create your rhythm. Remembering that the body is not a machine. And right now, this new moon is really calling us to take extra care. It's asking us to specifically let go of things that are no longer serving us also, and to know the power of recycling and composting and regenerating and reusing. And when you're ready, let's move on to Fennel. And for this one, if you're wearing pants, hopefully you can pull them up, because we're going to go to our knees. I should have made that caveat. When we do our anointing practice, I usually like to access our knees and our feet. So that's the direction we're headed. So with the Fennel, again, let's take a couple drops. Rub the palms together and just appreciate. Fennel is the oil of responsibility. Fennel helps us listen to the subtle messages that we receive. Not only helping us learn how to take responsibility and ownership, but also to be flexible. To know that we can only do so much. So would you, when you're ready, come to the knees. And again, this wonderful ability of acupressure, we can massage the whole knees. And I love Louise Hay's work, right? The knees are really an area for us to appreciate for how they do create this flexibility. So with massaging the backs of the knees, the fronts of the knees, the sides of the knees. And then when you're ready, there's this point right here. It's about 4 fingers down. So it's basically just below your patella, that bone. And it's known as your stomach point, 36. And it's a point that we can, I think with Fennel oil especially, consider our stomach, consider our digestion, consider how we do hold all of these pieces of our life and how they require us to digest in a way that we allow what we need to get out of them to be received, and then we let go of what no longer serves us. And that process remains healthy and fluid and flexible. Chani Nicholas said that this moon, the emotions are very intense, yeah, with Pisces being a mutable sign and connected with the ocean, and Neptune being the deity of the ocean. And all of the planets right now are saying hi to Neptune. So the water theme is very intense right now, and remembering to not fight the strong tides, but to learn how to surf. That whatever is going to happen is going to happen. And that sometimes when things go to mush, as she said, this is actually the thawing out. This is the dissolving, perhaps, of things maybe that have been keeping us stagnant or covered up or underground or frozen for a while. And that this thawing, this release of water is actually what allows this next cycle to come forward. So when you're ready now, let's please go to Eucalyptus. And I have such strong memories of Eucalyptus. Let's take a couple drops again in our hand. And when we're ready here, I'd like for you to place it again, 2 places. One on the lungs points here. Let's go like this. Right here. This is your lung point, yeah. Beneath the collarbone, this indentation, yeah, that you see right here. So massaging into these lung points, Eucalyptus, no surprise, right? How helpful it is for our respiratory system. But very specifically, Eucalyptus helps us really change any patterns that may be reoccurring themes. This can be a big way to shift something that is helping us to resolve emotional pain that may remain at our heart center. Those seeds of whatever emotional pain sometimes that continue to manifest in different ways over time in our life. This can help just to really tap into that root. And in that way, please then also take your hands to your feet. You might want to even take another drop of eucalyptus, but we're going to go to the feet, and on the feet, really focusing on massaging the balls and the pads of the feet here and across actually the pads of the toes. So I was going to share a picture with you. I'm going to post it later just so you can see how these respond to all of the respiratory systems of the lungs, the sinuses, the trachea, everything from here. So going into each of the toes, just one at a time, little circles maybe. Taking your time just to explore. Acknowledging the feet for how they keep us literally rooted and connected to the earth. And in this, the appreciation of wellness at the very foundation of our whole being and wholeness. And probably something really, really important to remember right now during this time where Pisces is such a potent healer, and being sensitive to what is being strengthened in your life. Okay. Are we feeling ready to move on? I mean, I could stay on my feet for a long time. Okay, so let's go on to Neroli. And again, with Neroli, we're going to place it in 2 locations. And if you would like to lay down for this as well, you can put some in your palm, and just inhale for a moment first. Neroli is the wild orange blossom and is the oil of shared purpose and partnership. It is incredibly unifying, stabilizing, and harmonizing. And because of this, I encourage you to place one hand at the top of your head. And I want you to decide which one at the top of your head, and one hand on your womb, in your low belly. And if you want to lie down and do this, please do. I'm just going to stay here for a few long breaths. Just acknowledging again these 2 places, feeling their similarities and their opposites. Just noticing the connection. Neroli specifically helps us to generate empathy and patience, forgiveness, resilience. And as we move through this time, whether or not we're in partnership with another human or not, it does not matter, I believe. It's this desire that we each have to be in relationship with others, to be in community, even if that is just with the animal creatures or the plant creatures. We have a shared purpose and a shared partnership with all living beings. Again, with your inhalation, allowing perhaps the hands on the head to just get a little lighter as you expand and you allow those dreams to come in. And as you exhale, maybe a little strengthening at the belly and the womb, the space where all creation comes from, grounding us. keeping us rooted in the reality of this life we are in right now. Inhaling and dreaming and allowing the heart to lift, but feeling the whole expansion of the front and the back and the sides, the whole spine above and below, all lift and extend as we inhale. Our dreams are encouraged to be as big as they possibly can be. And with each exhale, acknowledge that creative space in your core, in your womb, in your ground. And do this just a few more times. Inhaling, dreaming your wildest, most expansive visions of the life you would love to create. And with each exhale, feeling that growing in your belly. Knowing that you're not alone as you create this. And whenever you feel complete, just allowing the hands to move. And the last oil, lemon eucalyptus. I want you to just take a tiny bit of this. This is a very potent oil, and it might even feel a little bit like a shock to your system. No? I find it a little intense, but I think this is a really important practice for us at the end. So just take an oil and take a drop. Again, rub the hands together. Appreciate this oil of protected space. And in your own way, I would love for you to please now just inhale and draw a circle around your whole being and let the hands come together, and exhale and bring the hands back to the heart. And do this a few times. Inhaling, really expanding again with the inhale, dreaming big, creating this huge space bubble around you that's protected. And then bringing that to feel safely protected in the seat of your soul here. Remembering that there is more space in the universe than anything else. Taking up your space is your birthright, and even your responsibility to yourself more than anything else. Inhaling, dreaming really big, expanding into all that's possible. Exhaling and grounding, earthing, making manifest. And when you feel complete, just letting the hands come to rest. And I want us to just do this last thing and shake our hands. I want us to shake. And in this way, let's shake away the dreaminess. Okay, our dreaminess is something that, as much as we need it right now, we can't get lost in it. So we've got to shake away the space. And I'm on a bouncing ball, so I get to bounce and shake. So if you want to get up and bounce, do that too. When you feel ready, let's just rub the hands together one last time. Create some heat. Take one more deep breath. All of these oils beautifully combined together here to support you as you venture into this beautiful new moon in Pisces. I hope that you feel supported and that you use these practices and whatever other practices support you in a daily way to remember your awesomeness, your pure potentiality, your biggest dreams, all that is real for you right now in your connections, in what is well and whole, that is regenerative and healing. I wish you many, many new moon blessings.